Good morning. It is Monday, January 20th, 2025, the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States, Donald John Trump. There are some that believe he was the 45th President, the 46th President, and the 47th President. I can't say that I actually believe that I am one of them. Uh, So it was a grand slam that hasn't happened since FDR, and they changed the number of terms that a president could have. He didn't serve four, but maybe one day he will. So my heartfelt congratulations are out to President Trump. I think he comes back at a time when we need him. That's why we elected him. And I'm glad that we did. We are live on the Dave Globin profile over here on Facebook. We are live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. I did, in fact, check it. We are, in fact, live on my profile for a change, which is really interesting. Anyway, with me today, Randy Rhodes. All roads lead to home genealogy, as well as a conservative patriot broadcaster. Michael Anthony from Studio 10 Broadcasting, who 10 o'clock talks, a lot of other brands, as I could say, very near and dear to my heart, because believe it or not, it was conversations with Michael Anthony that got me into doing what I do. And you can hold that against him if you want, or you can be very happy that he's here. So we'll go around the clock. We'll open with Randy Rhodes. We'll go down to Michael for a minute or two, and then we will dive in to a broadcast. Please invite your friends to watch. Go ahead,
You're
Randy.
going to dive in. It might be might be a little Arctic cold out there for diving into anything, but okay.
Very cool.
I do
Very
want
cool.
to, not that my daughter watches anything I do on Facebook, which is a sad commentary. Same with my son. He doesn't watch anything. Or my grandkids. They don't have the same interest that I do, which is kind of sad because once I die, everything that I've done goes into the time frame of life. But I want to, if she does happen to catch this show, I want to say thank you so very much, Rebecca Rhodes. You've been an answer to an aging father and mother. You live with us. You do so much for us. You do housekeeping. You do cooking. You do the grocery list. You order the groceries. You even go out and you shovel all that snow. And I wanted to make sure you understand that I do love you and that I do appreciate you all the time. Having said that, yeah, hey, Trump is just a couple hours away from being sworn in. Um, of course, Biden, on his way out the door, has pardoned an additional over 200 people, which Fossey is one. He is handing out pardons to people who haven't been charged with a crime yet. But he's just making sure that they're covered so they can't testify and be thrown in prison. Uh, I also wanted to give President Trump, and I think everyone is who knows the know, that if it wasn't for him, yesterday, three young ladies would not have been released into the loving arms of their parents and their family. Though I do have to believe that they have a long haul ahead of them to, if they could ever mend. I understand the one young lady is missing several fingers. It just goes to show that she had been tortured. I don't know any details of how the others are treated, but my personal opinion, and I'll end it with this. Michael can pick up, is that once we get all of the uh, hostages back, we should just lay level to the Gaza Strip, just wipe it the fuck out. I understand there's women and children there, but they're being brainwashed to hate Israel, to hate the United States, to hate anyone who has any type of Western inclination of a policy. But to do what they've done and to continue doing what they've done, they just don't deserve to live, in my personal opinion. And I hope that the Israeli government takes heed to my words and they wipe them out. Because you know what's going to happen, folks? It's my understanding is for every female being released, they want 30 terrorists. For every male being released, they want 50 terrorists. That's a lot of terrorists being released back into the wild, and this is going to start all over again. So with that, I'll turn it over to Michael.
Good morning,
Hey,
Michael.
good morning, David. Okay, cool. Yeah, taking a lot of that into my mind and basically digesting it. I agree with some. I, there's always a deal that needs to be made, and look, Trump's not even, uh, placed his hand on the Bible yet, and has not even yet sworn into oath, but again, acts like he's always been the president, which we know in our hearts that's been true. A lot of people don't think he would ever made it to this day. Well, we'll know that shortly because he's there. He's already in the building. His family's arriving. Everyone's getting ready. A country's about to unify. We're about to get our bank account back and control things in a different manner. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to the first 100 days. Again, deal making can be difficult.
Yep.
Deal making can be very difficult. Yesterday, I heard something with Mike Johnson, speaker Mike Johnson, and he was doing an interview. And a lot of the things and objectives that Donald Trump's going for, he didn't seem to agree with. He didn't agree with the TikTok scenario. And several other things. And here we wind up owning 50% of TikTok, and it goes right back online because, as Donald said,
Yeah.
it's worthless unless I make it worth something. So, how did that work out
Well,
for everybody that thought that they were going to fall into that scenario? All right, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead. I see you're anxious.
No, he said that he thought TikTok was worth not billions, billions. I know when I read all of the potential buyers, one of them I don't remember, but I made a $1 offer. I know a company known as Perplexity AI, only one that seemed to approach it ByteDance, someone who wanted to merge with US. Of course, it will be without ByteDance part of it, but have the bottom. I personally think Trump's media technology group, which owns Truth Social, for him personally, he should call. He didn't call the CEO of Truth Social and said, "You own them, and you work a deal, and you buy it for us. Make sure it succeeds." Happy with it being primarily brought in younger viewers. So if it brought in influencer and brought in for him, got a figure, and he asked for him to be on. But I'm sorry I cut.
Oh, I don't disagree with you there, but Trump's actual words were, and I could look up exactly that part of the clip, were the fact that the United States will now be owning 50% of the assets of its existence of TikTok. So whether there were other people playing the game behind the scenes, let's just say Trump made the best decision for the American citizens. How this is all going to work out will be fascinating to watch. There's a lot to happen. We can speculate on a lot, and a lot of things that we speculate on could be wrong, could be right. It doesn't really matter. What matters is we're here, we won, and that was his first words on stage. We won, and so here we are. How do you stay winners? How do you stay on the top? You don't give up. Nobody should ever give up in any way, and that's always been a positivity through Trump. His analogy, and which is fascinating when you really, really think about it. that was always his message to the American people. And because that message, it influenced us to be stronger, to do more, to keep going, to never give up. And that was one of the other functions of his words: never give up. If you give up, you're weak, and you'll be your own demise and your own failure. So here we are now, under that strength, and it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be very interesting in the first 100 days. I think they did all this over the weekend as a venue into what is about to happen and start. In the next 2 hours, as everybody walks into the White House and the paperwork starts to fly, and the fax machines start to get dictations of new policies. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to how that's going to shape up.
Yep.
But again, I guess that's good enough for an opening on my side of what I'm thinking. But I will close in saying this. Yesterday I watched a lot of fascinating people bringing a lot of videos to light. And, today is probably going to be the same way. There's going to be eyes all over TV, all over the network of the internet, all watching for this momentous moment to happen and take place for the games to begin.
I heard or I read very late last night that evidently President Xi Jinping from China evidently communicated late that he plans on being here for the inauguration. Now, there are much more important things for him and President Trump to be going over besides the TikTok debacle. But do you that they will discuss it? Do you think that they've had conversations already? I do know that the CCP has been very adamant that the algorithm that does allow them, and they came out and said this, the algorithm that does allow them to do what they were accused of doing in the United States is not part of the sale. The CCP owns that, and that algorithm or algorithm. But,
Yeah. I'll only comment on one part. Dossier. When you think about it, yes, there has been contact, but I think through other people, because Trump doesn't work in a mannerism to be stupid. Okay, he works under the influence of common sense. So has he, throughout the period of the past 4 years, been in contact? I would say probably through people, keeping himself in a place of protection and compliance under law. Things have been happening, but I think they have been the messengers all in contact with each other. You will see a difference in the United States to come. Just as I told everybody weeks ago, you will see a unification of different areas of continental structures coming together, renamings of the water, renamings of cities. You're going to see these things. And, Trump also said in support of California, and he basically narrated it around in his speech, all the faculties of everything that took place. But nobody's really speaking the truth of what we know. But I think in time, we will know these things. They will come on. But whoever comes, they're coming because they support the product that Trump can deliver, that he can unify, protect, and help other countries grow as well. You will see China grow, but in a different way. You will see Russia grow, but in a different way. You will see rebuilding in Ukraine in a different way. You will see it in California in a different way. You will see it in North Carolina in a different way. Why? Because in his own words, as I have been telling everybody, technology must move forward. This will never go back. They destroyed everything they wanted, knowing that they would put it in his lap and he would have to do the final cleanup. That cleanup's going to go in the same direction it was headed, but just under a different role.
Now that makes sense. Randy, you have a comment? My dogs are starting to bark, so I may have to turn my mic off. But Randy, you want to reply?
I will be the first to admit that I don't follow some of these things as closely as Michael does. So he has a lot more information on the different aspects of politics and government than I do. I do understand and know that President Trump, who will be president in what, an hour or less. He has a lot on his plate. There's already been some changes going on within his immediate selection of people. From what I've seen just before we went live here with Dodge, Vivek, I guess he's trying to make a run for governor in the one state. And to do that, he can't be a partner with Elon Musk with the Dodge setup. So there might be a turnover there. I know that with these last few minutes that Biden's in office, he's going to do all kinds of stuff to throw a wrench into an easy takeover of the government with Trump. But I think once Trump has the chains back in his hands, he's going to start, setting right all the things that were wrong. I would like to see more of his family taking part in his government, because I believe that they all have a common sense, and they all believe the same. They all have the same politics in mind, and I think that they would be more trusted for Trump to choose, because I'm just too afraid that he's going to put people into power that are going to say the right things now, but I think he's going to have the same problem he had last time with the backstabbers. So I would like to see more of his family taking control of various political positions to where he can trust them to do what he wants them to do. But, again, like I said, I don't have as much knowledge as Michael does because I don't follow the stuff. My mind's in a different direction with what I do. But as a commoner, let's compare ourselves this way. I'm the commoner in the street, and Michael and perhaps even Dave are like the intellectuals who are like the head of a. No, I'm serious. I'm serious because you guys have a lot more.
Okay.
Could you follow up more than I do? I don't spend my hours following this.
Right.
But as
I don't believe your own words on what you're saying, because you have been strong. You've
Right.
been on multiple shows
you-
every night, bringing information,
Right.
whether you're reading from a screen or putting your own words into perspective. And you cannot tell me and sit here in front of America right now and say you haven't been doing what we
Right.
have been doing.
No, but
Right.
okay. But what I'm saying is,
I've seen some fantastic.
But I'm saying is, you guys
I have to
can
call them
speak
rat.
it. You guys can speak it from your heart, from your mind, without having to use a second screen to pull up news and so forth. In that
Right.
respect, I had the ability to go out and do the research,
Right.
but to freely answer
Right.
certain questions, my
Well-
mouth is twisted, but. Let's just
My
leave
brain
it this
is-
way.
my
Your
brain is
is twisted. Let's just leave it this way. In less than an hour, Trump is set to sign off 200 different documents, and
Right.
the first one's going to be. And I can almost imagine. Is it Cohn? Whatever his name is. The guy's in charge of the border. I almost imagine that he's waiting. He's waiting for that final, twitch of the fin on that piece of paper that puts him in control. And I can almost imagine, like, okay, let's go, guys. Let's get him out of here. Boom, move it. And you get hundreds and hundreds of our vehicles, not but hundreds of our vehicles that go to our southern border. They're kicking them out. They already, the one mayor's already he's trying to make amends, and I can just imagine that there's people in place waiting to make they get that go order, and I would love to see that happen right away.
I think it's going to happen. And I think what I got from Tom Homan when he started saying, releasing few details of his, there is a piece, and this is how he is going to come in and do it. He expects that the trucks will pull up and all of these bad people will jump into the vans and the buses and go to wherever they're going to go, has yet to be seen. Mayors and Democrat governors and Democrat politicians in the state that interfere, I think he's put them on notice and said, the law on our side. We're going, and this is how it's going to be done. And if you interfere, then you're breaking the law. Michael, what do you think?
Well, exactly. The orders are going to come from the highest office in the world, from the chief and commander himself. Aiding and abetting will not be tolerated. Cease and assist orders will be provided. These are the things that you can expect that will happen. But they actually verbally gave fair warning to all these illegals here. You can leave on your own, or we will come and we will put you back from which you came from, Mexico, at the border. So a lot of people were leaving already. But the way they did it, I think, puts a lot of good thought into place because, no one deserves to be hurt. The conflict here was they were made a promise that, none of us agree on or have ever agreed on. But it was done through promises, false prophets, false promises. So, Tom was trying to keep that perspective in order. And that's just how I feel about that. But everything that does take place is now going to come from a new commander in chief with a different rule of thumb. A lot of people are going to play a party to it. You're going to see corporate people, as he said, even in his speech yesterday, they're giving me money. They want to throw money into America. Well, yeah, that's how the corporate network works. If they want to succeed, you don't go against every presidency and think that they're not going to somehow try to do something to control you or to suppress you or to take you out of business. We watched all these things happen. We watched their mandates. We watched it through the big cure factor of the COVID problem and how that worked. Will be the example. Watch us take our vaccination. Yeah, we don't know what they talk, but again, that's how MK Ultra works. That's how mind control works. That's how people jump aboard. That's why they believe. And the problem is now that there is no longer a problem because we're going to have a lot more truth to how we forefront into the future. Okay. But the truth will come out no matter who they pardon. The truth will prevail, and that will be their own destruction. Their actions will never go away from what they did. And we don't know if it's constitutional to even pardon people that have never been charged of a criminal crime yet. But again, we're going to see a lot of interesting things work out.
Okay, give me a second. I want to apologize to Randy because I knocked Randy's camera off, bringing Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion. I apologize that, and we'll go to Jerry and give Jerry share some of his knowledge with
us. How you doing? I have no knowledge.
You have a lot of knowledge, Jerry. I'm glad that you're here with us this morning. The American Rebellion is on
being in danger and so forth. I think he'll get through this day just fine. I believe that security is probably at the highest level at this moment, for sure. But I think he'll get through this day, and I think he'll get through his presidency, and I look forward to all the the day one stuff he talked about him doing and seeing it implemented and getting it started. I look forward to a day where there's some peace in society. I don't know when that's going to happen. It may not happen in the next 4 years, but it sure would be nice. So tired of just, the back and forth saying the exact same things as the other side is saying about us. They just care about their feelings. We talk about they just care about their feelings. Everybody thinks they got facts. Just everybody shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and live your life, pursue some happiness, and hopefully you'll be able to keep more of your money to pursue said happiness. Maybe prices go down, maybe all kinds of stuff. People that are corrupt go to jail regardless of what side they're on. Don't bitch and moan if your favorite congressman or your favorite senator is going to jail or at least being thrown out. If he's a corrupt piece of shit, don't be upset about that. Okay, because in the end, we need less corruption. We need less of them selling us out every chance they get. We need less China. We need less Russia. We need just American.
I wanted to ask you, with Vivek Ramaswamy running Ohio, he said that he's going to have to step down from Dodge to his campaign. Do you think Elon Musk can handle it solo?
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't seem like Ramalama Ding Dong has really been involved in that at all. All I hear about is Elon Musk talking about it. So it was kind of a surprise to find out he was running for governor of Ohio, but um, I'm not sure why he would accept that and then accept running. So obviously he's actually what he's doing, I believe, is running for president in 4 or 8 years. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes if he wins. I just was watching was it RSBN or something, QRS, I don't know, and they were interviewing people on the street, and a lot of them were from Ohio. So you know.
It will be interesting. Randy, what do you got? What do you got to say? What do you think?
I'm sitting here listening to you guys while I'm watching the procession getting ready to take place. I thought, or maybe it hasn't taken place yet. There's supposed to be like a parade on Pennsylvania Avenue, and he was going to be walking in the street. Has that got changed because of the weather conditions?
There is a parade involved. I don't know what time it starts, but there is a parade involved.
And I'm seeing the people gather inside the White House. You can tell which one's the Democrats, which one's the Republicans, because the Democrats are all excitable and giddy and so forth, and the Democrats are like, oh, we lost. Oh God, Trump's in. Oh my God, we're in trouble. You see the emotional difference between them. There's one thing I said yesterday on my one broadcast. Uh, One thing that you gotta give the English when they have a royal procession of some kind, I want to tell you what they put on one hell of a show. They got their soldiers and they're marching down the street. You got their bagpipes out and their drums and their horns and they're dressed to the hilt in their traditional military uniforms, and they're just boom, 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 and the people are, the pride of the people. Um, I would love to see that more in our country. Not just having to wait for a July 4th or some type of Independence Day celebration where the local towns might have their fire trucks come out and the high school queen and king and so forth. But I would love to see more. of that on a regular basis, where we're proud of our nation, we're proud of our military, we're proud of our heritage, and you get those men in uniform, but not just the current uniform we have now, but dress them up like they did back in the old days, the colonial days, like the English do, and just have the pride. I think if we did more like that, the people themselves will begin to get more pride of what their nation is, what it stands for. Or am I smoking pot here? I don't know, but that's how I feel.
That's pretty
Okay.
interesting. But I mean, where and when, and within Trump's first winning of his first election, being named 45, did he not set these examples? He was the one that always showed up, that went to Arlington and all these other areas, and gave honor to the soldiers and their families and to the children, and held them in their arms and hugged them and kissed them, and showed the affection and of everything you're describing. The dismay only came about when transgenderism became more important than the military faction. So we are going to see what you're asking for. It's going to come back, and that was the example being set right there. I wouldn't call it a show. I would call it a disgrace of a country that we put people through this. And we have to put, again, the importance is to let people know what the end result in war is and how it comes and how humanity suffers therefore after.
Yeah, when I was watching the senators question Trump's proposed cabinet members, and they kept focusing on the military and the transgender and the male female scenario, like that had more importance than the ability of the men and women to do their job, because it's like they're trying to say is, if they're transgendering, they can't be called on to go into combat because they have to have access to the medications, to the treatments. You have the downtime of being in the hospital for this and that, and I do believe that standards were lowered in order to, there's Kamala Harris. The standards were reduced to allow them in because they couldn't physically do the task called upon them, what you call upon of a man.
Okay, Jerry, you're that's because Randy touched upon a bunch that I know you want to about. I know that when you were active in the Marines, and I only say active because, well, from what I've been told, once you're a Marine for life. But while you were in DC, you were in public and stuff all the time. I don't know about parades or anything, but what?
Holy shit.
Why don't you share screen?
Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. There it is.
What?
Screen share.
I'm sorry. I've been trying to unscrew.
You want me to screen share?
Whoever can do it, we can still talk. Just keep the volume down, and that'll create a public awareness and a public that wants to see what's going on while we're speaking.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Jerry can still talk.
I'm interested.
I didn't even hear the damn
Jerry's
question. I'm trying to unscrew my computer here. It seems okay now.
Wow.
Screwdriver's in the drawer to the left.
Well, they said
there you go.
That while you
Dave
were in okay, hold on. While you were in playing with this and if we're gonna get feedback while
hold on. I'm gonna cut it. I don't have any audio coming off the screen.
That's crazy.
I'm all here is verb.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Take it. All right. Take it. Yeah. Take it off. I'm gonna take it off.
Hello?
I don't.
It's not.
I don't want any reverb.
Okay, it wasn't coming from me because I have my audio turned off.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Then it was coming from everybody else. It's not an issue. That was part of the reason why I didn't want to do it.
Okay.
Uh,
What were
go
you?
ahead, Jerry.
What did it? What?
Uh,
Seriously? Okay. Just move on. We'll just
Okay. I wasn't mad
we'll
at
just move
wasn't
on.
mad at
Just move
him.
on, Dave.
Okay, no, I'm just going to say. Okay, but the question, what did you? I guess what I was trying to say is, what did you feel like as a parading around all over Washington D.C. doing 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 this stuff? I don't know if you had to walk in parades. If you did, you can comment
Yeah.
on
Oh,
that
yeah.
too.
All the time.
Okay.
All the time. My first year in the Marine Corps, that's all I did. And then after also, but the two actual parades through DC I did, I was very proud of actually. One was for the dedication of the Vietnam Memorial, the wall, and the other one was for a leg bone they found in Vietnam that belonged to a pilot that was being brought to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which they have since a long time ago. I think in the late 90s or something, they identified and he was reburied somewhere else. I guess in a family plot or something. But I was very proud of that. Most of them, I'll be very truthful, were boring as hell. And, you just, you had to get there. Once you put on your uniform, your blue whites, you could not sit down. So that would be an hour before you left. And then you would get there an hour early. So that's 2 hours. And then however long, sometimes it wasn't even a parade. Sometimes you just stood in formation. You marched in, stood in formation for 3 hours, did a few, manual of arms or something. And then you marched off. And, the longest one I think I ever did was 6 hours. Um, your knees are swollen. Yeah, you just want it to be over with, be truthful, because it's for people you don't even know who the hell they are. An inauguration, I probably would be very proud to be there, um, to be truthful. Um, I have no problem with that. But I don't think you don't put the military in America on the street that much. And like for the Too Many Unknown Soldier and the Wall, there was one platoon of Marines. Now, that was for the Wall that did actual marching. One platoon from each one platoon from each service, and at the time there were four. So for the Vietnam thing, we just stood on the side of the roads on each side across from each other. There was 1,500 of us, and we would, you know, you'd stand at attention when the flag came by. Otherwise, you were at parade rest. Um, I got spit on that day. I got fucked with. I got punched in the face. And then my best friend came over and started fucking with me from across the road, trying to make me laugh. So, it was an eventful day that day. But I was punched by a woman and spit on by a woman, which was while I was holding a rifle, which I could have butt stroked her with and literally knocked her into last week. But shit happens. There were still people back then that thought we were baby killers from Vietnam. I met a woman in a bar one night. She was in her 30s or something, and I was, I don't know, 19. And she called me a baby killer. And I looked at her like I've never killed a baby in my life. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't want to see the military the way in all this. I don't, but some people do. It's just a way of things.
Yep.
You know, that's all I can really tell you. There's some stuff that you can't help but be proud of. I was even proud of that day. There's other stuff that is just boring. Like the 6 hour one was just a bunch of supposed dignitaries from foreign countries, and they all did a 30-minute speech or something. I don't know. It was insane. Um, I fell asleep during that standing up because you also learn that you sleep in any freaking position you could think of. And if I was invited, especially to like this one, I mean, I've never done an inauguration. I was Reagan was already, but I would probably be okay.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of everybody's got their tastes. I don't think that all that the whole inauguration thing to me is too much. Let them have the freaking oath. Let them do a speech, and then get to work. The parades, and all that crap. I'm not. I don't really care about all that.
Okay. Michael, comments? I guess no comments. I a president feeling that they have to parade some military uh, when a leader of another country is here because they do that to us. And I've never understood, is it them just showing and all of that? Are they trying to scare us, or is it really just the pomp and circumstance of displaying terror? I've never really understood it. I do agree with you that it should just be for those that just want to watch the inauguration ceremony and the speech, and then either get back to their lives if they have to, and wait to see what President Trump does. That's the way. That's the way it should be. Uh, I did try to say Jerry Michaels is the host of the American Rebellion Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday here on Facebook and Rumble. And I can never remember where on X, so maybe he'll grace us by telling us where on Rumble and X, or just watch, like I said, 7 p.m. Rebellion Blogger page if you're here on Facebook, and I'm sure he will tell you where uh, where you can watch it. You see me, Michael Anthony's been on there a lot. Minnesota Madman, Robert Wallace is there a lot, and there's a whole discussion of people who have been there before and after, some of which that I wish would be there, but I'm not going to bring that part of the discussion up. Just go watch it, because Jerry is a view that I think a lot of Americans share, and if his view, he gives you the right to tell him that you don't share his view, and that's hard to find on any social media broadcast. Go
Well,
ahead, Jerry.
it's like the big pomp and circumstances. I get a lot of that, but it costs a lot of taxpayer dollars to run like North Korea. They run the missiles, the tanks, the whole. It costs a lot of taxpayer dollars to do that, especially in America. And I don't think it's necessary, but then other people don't do. So I don't even know if that's what he was talking about, but you know, um, I think the inauguration should be for the people. I think that's who should be the majority of who is there. And judging by what I'm seeing on video, there are a shitload of people in D.C. and they won't even get to see him sworn in. They're all complaining on the other side that he's afraid of the cold, which I am almost positive in my mind that is not the case. Um, yeah, I believe his safety is the number one concern at this point. Um, the fact that the vice president of the United States wouldn't bring in the incoming vice president of the United States' wife in to show her, the VP's residence is as classless as it gets. And I think we're in for a new dawn. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be very difficult. I think it was painful to get to this point. It is going to be painful in some cases to get out of this. And I think people should be ready for that
Yep.
and not be thinking it's all Trump's fault. Blah, 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 blah. He said we're going to be great. No, it's going to be, we allowed this to happen. It's going to be painful to get out of it. Because if he does get out, say he gets out a quarter of the illegals, there are going to be states that are having a hard time economically. Okay, because there's not going to be people wanting to do jobs. There's going to be empty houses, empty apartment buildings, empty this, empty that, grocery stores, hospital, you name it, they're going to be empty. But one thing that will be emptying out, hopefully, is the schools, so we can get some teachers in there to teach a smaller class. Everybody speaks the same language, hopefully. There's going to be good and bad about all of it. But it has to be done,
Right.
and it needs to start somewhere. And we are going to be we've been living history since we were born. We just tend to look at the big things. Every single thing the government does is history that we have to live through, good or bad. Now, hopefully, we're going to be living through some history to straighten this country out, even just the smallest bit, because he does not have enough time to fix everything.
Yep. I do. There's a lag getting things from Restream to Facebook back to. I would flash it on the screen, but Tina Scott should be all the way up now. Speaker Johnson, a decision on the raising and lowering of the flag. I believe the flag should have been up from midnight tonight or from midnight this morning until midnight tonight. It's inauguration day. I understand that DC's policy is the flags go down and they either stay down or they come up. If that's the case, then not be on January 20th of every year when there is an inauguration. There should not be a situation in DC that its flags are lowered. Otherwise, change the inauguration day, because though they know are going to take advantage of seeing the flags at half mast on a day that we're celebrating Donald Trump or any president becoming president of the United States. And I just think that, Speaker Johnson, that was a bad move. I think they should have just gone up for the day. Maybe the amount of time that the flags stay half staff in DC should be lowered or should be changed. I don't know what the answer is. I do know that Speaker Johnson said because of the weather, this is why they moved it inside, and it's in however many years it's been. When Ronald Reagan was inaugurated in 1995, I guess they did the same thing. They did the same thing for him. It does, my view on the inauguration. The inauguration should be a secured facility where maybe he can invite 1,500 of their closest and government officials that need to be there, and that's it. The rest of us have TV or go sit in the today. I understand, and watch it on any monitor that might be there. It's not so much a safety thing of Donald Trump or being involved in any kind of a safety incident with me today. It's just that it's not safe to be out in that weather. So, you win some battles, you lose some battles, and some battles you even wonder why they even became a battle. But go ahead, Jerry. I lost your audio.
I think Michael's back there. I think I just heard him.
Yeah, I've been here actually.
Oh, okay. Michael.
Yeah, that's okay. I've been here, but taking it all in. I don't know, Dave. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I didn't know if we were having some other sort of technical difficulty, but yeah. So I was behind screen, just basically trying to edit out a couple things that had taken place because there is a 15-second delay, and so anyway, that had to be addressed.
Yeah.
This will only be live for the next 8 minutes on the radio, networking throughout Pennsylvania and a few other states. But again, it's a shame that we couldn't have the some of the ongoings behind screen of the inauguration and what's going on inside the rotunda. But again, it's okay. We'll all be watching very soon, very close. Everybody's going to be. This is going to be one of the most fascinating times in history because it's been the America New Revival, a rebirth. And that's how I'm looking at it. We're going to see a lot of things. We have a lot going on in Washington. A lot of speculations why it was moved inside. And I put the storms coming. And part of that was it was being directed right at them. But again, there's another meaning. And some, I guess, within some military terms that was posted also days before the event. And I think it had to do
Is you, Michael?
I'm sorry?
I thought we lost you for a second, but no, go ahead. Continue.
Okay, to get back into that frame of thought.
Okay, I have lost two, but that's okay because Michaels and I are able to continue as long as Jim wants to continue this morning.
What the hell is going on with the internet today? That seems weird.
I don't know. Our internet is because Jackson Vic Authority is doing all kinds of, I think, gutter repairs, and Wednesday we won't have electricity in the morning. I'm have internet.
Oh, you
so I don't know, maybe
because you look fuzzy.
They're installing fiber optics up here.
Last two shows you look fuzzy.
I do.
Yeah. Usually you're pretty clear.
Okay. Yeah.
But last two, like the other day when you were on, what it was, a Saturday, I think it was, you were on or Friday, whatever it was, you were fuzzy. And then today. Oh, Michael's back. All right.
I never went away.
Michael is back.
I never went away.
It happening. It wasn't me. I didn't bounce you.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Last few days.
Anyway, okay. where I was going, and I'll quit real fast here, was we're going to have a lot of military presence, surrounding in Washington for the next year, according to orders that were already given, and the National Guard being called out of Pennsylvania, which always is at this event when this takes place. But they will also be stationed there now into the future for some time. Kind of like the same thing we saw, when Biden took office, and the big walls were built and perimeters were put up from the public to stay back. But I think it'll be a little bit different. It will be something that's not rehearsed, but something that is factually and in place for good reason to be there. So, I'm looking forward to the big change, just like everybody else is. We're coming up onto the final minute where I'm keeping live. I only booked 1 hour for the live event for this to stream through, and there'll be some commercials and music put in between it, but it has been live. So I hope everybody that didn't hear it.
I appreciate that.
that didn't hear it here, that everybody knows that it made radio. Thank you for watching your languages. Like I said, I got to make a couple more corrections before it starts replaying.
Yeah.
This will be on 4 or 5 more times throughout the day. But nevertheless, I'm looking forward to this. The change is going to be immense, no doubt about it. And we're all going to be every day waiting in our chair, going into the future of what is coming next, just as we have been for the past 4 years.
Yep, you're actually right. Actually, Michael, it was a pleasure to have you here, and we will be watching your profile on Facebook to see anything I can have posted, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future.
All right, you guys have a great day. I'm going to go take care of this and make sure it stays live. See you.
Okay, Michael. All right. Thank you. Studio 10 Broadcasting carried this for an hour on some radio in Pennsylvania. I am not sure if it was internet radio or if it was actual AM or FM radio, but, I appreciate whatever you did. Go ahead, Jerry.
I wish I'd have known that. I think I'd let an F-bomb fly. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, he had I think a 15. So
oh,
to edit them out.
Well, that's terrific.
So don't
I
worry.
get to be bleeped. Oh, good. So why is Pence allowed anywhere near this is my question. Why would he be invited? That is just, I got to tell you, there are certain people that I wouldn't have invited to the inauguration or allowed in the door that are currently sitting politicians and also former. Why is Pence even allowed at the inauguration? He should have been stopped when he got out of his car and told to go home. Yeah, he bleeped me. I know, Alan. What can I tell you?
I think
Dave don't find people.
Maybe
he don't have that iron fist like I do. I put the Kai button.
No, I don't.
For being late. Yeah.
I don't find people, because my last radio job, like I said, into a delay, and they could.
No. That's not what I'm talking about, Dave. I'm talking about being late.
Okay.
Being late.
Oh no, I don't find people for being late, because if
I do, I make them pay.
Find people for being
They've
late.
all paid me money for being late.
But my problem is.
Yeah, well, I have the same problem, Dave. I'm still waiting on fines from everybody. They say it's in the mail, but they're lying.
And if all the people that were going to be late or knew that they were going to be late just paid the fine anyway, then they'd be late all the time.
This all started with it started as a joke because people are always saying, sorry, I'm late. I don't know why people are saying it. If they don't know or remember you're on or whatever, and they show up, isn't that the important thing? Not the fact they're late? I don't know. That drives me nuts. Some of the stupid shit in the world drives me nuts. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pence should just stay in Indiana. Yeah. Where is it? It's still in their pocket, wife. Maybe I don't know. Afghanistan would be good for Pence. I think that's what he should do, or Ukraine. He seems to care about more of them. As Americans, we're not his concern. Boss lady wants to know. Yeah, well, ask them. They ain't sent it. I've been waiting for years for some of them. Anyway, sorry.
I'm just thinking that Pence and Trump, and Pence being there, was maybe they both tried to throw half an olive branch and get along with Jimmy Carter's funeral. Maybe, he said, you should come. But if you do anything wrong, I'm going to have you escorted out.
Yeah, he wouldn't say that. But Pence wouldn't have the balls anyway. Pence is a gutless fuck.
Right. Yeah. On the other hand, if you watched the videos of
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter. She just walked right over to her seat. She passed everyone.
Yeah.
She had her face like, I really don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Anything. I just wish done. Or I was home watching it on TV.
My wife says Clintons are entering the rotunda, or the Capitol, and there is booing. It is amazing the people that will
Are they
show
going to
up
lie in
knowing
state?
they are going to.
Inauguration is over.
I don't know. All I know is that
I made
the
I
Clintons
made
showing up
a bad
here.
comment that would probably get bleeped out.
I know that
Go
they
ahead.
are. Why would they show up? They're gonna know. They know everybody hates them. Penn said some pretty awful things about President Trump after January 6th. He continues to. Um, so Hillary just ran across my screen, and now Jamie Collins from Kentucky is throwing up. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't understand why these people are going or why they're even invited. They are part of the fucking problem. What is the? I got to tell you, you want to send a message, you don't invite them. You don't give them tickets. You tell them, I don't know, put the Marines at the door or something. Tell them, shoot them if they try to come in. Obama is being booed. Oh, well, there you go. Well, Big Mike won't be there today, so
Well, he went, but Big Mike said he wasn't going.
yeah.
So,
Well, he had to air out his junk
you
from being tucked so much.
and yeah, I heard the Bush. Well, I heard that supposedly Bush's wife, whose name I can't remember, and I should be able to, but
Laura.
that there was another one that said she wasn't going. I didn't hear whether or not George Love lost.
They've all talked shit about him. Every one of them have talked shit about him.
If they weren't there, George, I think, gets the response that he wanted. He basically made it clear, I'm done. I just want to go to my ranch and live out.
Yeah.
But he keeps seeming to get involved in
just
things that he
because
shouldn't.
somebody shoves a microphone in your face does not mean that you have to say anything, derogatory. I mean, it's one thing if somebody is completely screwing up the country. It's another thing whenever somebody is shaking up the damn government and hopefully making things better for the American people, which, let's face it, George Bush didn't do. We complained about Biden's
No.
gas prices. I paid almost over $5 a gallon for gas during Bush, and he did nothing to change
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't recommend selling off all our reserves to change it for sure.
No.
But I mean, there's got to be a better idea than that. I don't know. How about we open up some pipelines and start drilling again? That's usually the best idea. That kind of thing. But can't do that because oil bad.
Open up the Keystone XL pipeline, doing what we should be doing. And
Yes.
I think that,
Yes.
we were under Trump, we were energy dependent only on ourselves. And he is the only one in Washington, D.C. that can do that again. Then that's part of the reason why I hope he's there. Don't really have to complain. We have a little Kia. I almost said rice burner, but a little Kia that gets almost 35, 40 miles a gallon, depending on how my wife drives it. She doesn't have a heavy foot like I do, so I might have gotten miles a gallon out of it if I was still driving. But
Well, we're paying just over.
we're getting.
Last time I bought gas, it was just over 3. I really don't look at the signs when I go to town because I don't want to know. But on, you get paid, you got to go get gas, whatever. I didn't get gas this time, so I don't know. But my guess, within a few months of them opening up the oil fields and opening up the pipelines and so forth, we're going to get it down to couple bucks or maybe less. In some places in the country, last time he was in, we were paying
Yeah.
$1.25. Which
Yeah.
we got to 1.99. That was as low as it got. I think 1.98 maybe. Which I was not complaining about at all. That's was
Yeah.
about $45 to fill up my tank for where it was at, when I did it, which was a little bit over empty, not maybe an eighth of a tank, something like that. So I mean, don't you want to edit the inauguration and speech? I do. I want him, instead of doing the speech, to be signing executive orders and explaining what each one is,
Yeah.
and watch all the fucking asshole former politicians and possibly present ones leave in disgust. See. And the first
Yeah.
one I want him to do is free all the January 6 prisoners or hostages, depending on your opinion. Mine's the second one. Um, and then of course, close the border can be second because that's only going to take a minute to explain the first one. Close the border completely second until we get the immigration crap and all the loopholes um, out of it, because that's what they've done. They've taken the loopholes in all the visa programs and work visa, and they've infiltrated them to the point where here we are. So when you have the visas and the illegal, actually out and out illegal aliens here, and then the visas that come in that shouldn't be here, and then also the visas that come in and stay and don't go home, there's a major problem.
Yep. Yep. I've heard that President Trump plans on reinstating the policy, which was you wait in Mexico until you're told to come here.
Yeah.
And you're told to go to a legal point of entry.
Yeah.
Not come in illegally and you get captured in the United States while you lifetime of years it's going to take a American citizen. But and Mexico, I think, isn't happy about that. But my response to Mexico is about that because that's the way it always was. Don't let them in your southern border.
Exactly.
And
exactly. Yeah, you know what? If they controlled their southern border, we wouldn't have a problem at ours. It's very simple. Right. We would have them trying to come here on some boats or inner tubes or something to get around Mexico. But a lot of them would die, so that would solve one problem, and the other, because the Gulf of Mexico is huge. It ain't the same as looking at it on a map. Within a mile or two, you don't see land no more. Once you get out into it, So screw them. I don't care. They are ruining everything in this country, and then the politicians are helping ruin everything by giving them everything. I mean, was that you who posted that receipt the other day from some illegal with their food stamp balance on it?
It might
or somebody did.
have been. I don't know.
Yeah. So she had like $6,000 worth of food stamps, and the cash was somewhere around 4,000. You know what we were getting in food stamps? I think it was $23. I don't know how that's supposed to help anybody. And then, we're not going through a crisis right now. You got North Carolina, people freezing to death in tents.
Yeah.
People losing their houses
FEMA
in
and
California.
that $1.
And there's a lot of good people losing houses and businesses in California. So don't forget that. And if you're not going to tell me that they ain't cheating in California, where they recalled Gavin Newsom and he won. I'm sorry, that you're not going to tell me they weren't cheating on that. And of course, taking how long? 3-4 weeks to count ballots after the general election.
Yeah.
The national.
But the main thing with me was I don't care who cut the $17.5 million from the city of Los Angeles fire department's budget. The point is, that's why Dennis Leary was on The View, and he has relatives in the terrible Worcester warehouse years ago that we all know about. That's why he said we have yards and yards and yards full of fire equipment in Los Angeles
Yep.
that
Saw pictures.
wasn't available
Yeah.
because the mechanics got cut too.
Yeah. Saw pictures of it, and he ain't lying. There was probably the picture I saw. There
No.
was probably 150 fire vehicles. Some of them like regular fire trucks.
Yeah.
You had EMS trucks. You had all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, just sitting there because they don't have mechanics to fix them.
Yeah. All fire engines, and it looked like a few hook and ladders. And it reminded me of one of the video games that I play, even though I don't drive, or is clearing out a lot of fire, ambulance, whatever they throw on my, so that they can get out to go do their job. I went the whole time going, oh, there's no reason to play that version of the game because afford to operate them. You can't afford to fix them. Can't afford to operate them.
Big Jimmy over here brought up a good point for a conversation. Well, short conversation about pardons.
Okay. Yep.
I hear he pardoned Milley and Fauci.
Yep. Well, I believe Fauci's already out of the country. He's back in China. He's running with the CCP. Tells him to do. I could be wrong. Once a rumor a while ago, and that just seems to be where he is.
Well, he sure hadn't been on TV.
He moved his bank accounts. Right, but he moved his bank accounts. He's, they're being cashed into yen, or maybe he's allowed his. But he needs. I don't even know at this point if he needs to go through Congress just so they can have their yelling at him hearings on it. Can't he just go to the Supreme Court and plead the Supreme Court?
I don't know.
Or do they not hear those kind of cases?
They hear death penalty cases. I don't know, but he definitely deserves the death penalty. Mark Zuckerberg is at the inauguration. Mark is sucking up. Mark is sucking up.
He gave $1 million to help fund. Yeah.
TikTok is back after 24 hours of crying. Which I'm not on TikTok. I don't really give a shit one way or the other, but I got to tell you, I don't like censorship, and I don't like when the government is doing it. That's number one. Number two, if they're going to complain about being in bed with China, or being owned by, in this case, being owned by China, but still being in bed with China, they need to take down Facebook. They need to take down YouTube. They need to take down X. They need to take down all of them because all the ownership is involved with China some way or another for money purposes.
Right.
So I guess the inauguration is getting started. I thought he wasn't supposed to be inaugurated till 12. That's what.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But if you're gonna go, I'm probably gonna say I don't want to keep you from being able to watch it. If I miss it live, I'll just watch the replay of it, only because I haven't decided. I haven't even decided where I want to watch it from. I was going to post it from C-SPAN, figuring that would alienate. Didn't want to pick a network because everybody hates network. Someone hates that network. I just figured I would put it on C-SPAN. But like I said, all I really wanted the speech.
Well, that's me, but I don't know. We'll see.
Anyway.
She's telling me I got to come back and watch it, so I'm going to go do that.
All right.
we will hopefully see you tonight. Everybody else will be on 7 p.m. Eastern on X under AMRAB, and just go to Facebook. I'm not really that thrilled with Rumble anymore, so we're not really on there anymore as far as doing the actual show. We don't get any comments. We don't get anything, and X is not any different really, but just, whatever. Thanks, Dave. Take care of you.
Billion people. Yep. All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks for coming. I'll see you tonight. All right. Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Eastern, here on Facebook. You can watch it on the American Rebellion blogger page. There are two things here on Facebook. One is the group, and one is go to the American Rebellion page, and you can watch it there with the page live chat there. So go and watch it. Thank you, Tina, for watching. I'm sorry, but I would have highlighted your comments on if I could, but for some reason, some comments on Facebook never make it to my screen, and some do, and I don't know. I'm looking at X or the way the broadcast get here on Facebook, but I don't really know. We have a YouTube channel too. If you can go to YouTube and you can search for it, or if you give me a second, I will type it in really fast and hopefully make sure I don't get any errors, but it's YouTube. YouTube.com/ has to be, YouTube.com/ one of these days have this all set up to be able to and send it to everybody while we're live, and the way we do it, because sometimes it's more fun to just watch the way we do it. We, meaning I, don't get on anybody for dropping an F-bomb here and there in the course of your conversation. I might say something, but we're all adults here, and we're all adults, and you just have to decide whether or not it's okay to drop an F here and is used as a sentence enhancer here and there, and it okay. I mean, there's a lot more important things to deal with than someone dropping an web address to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. It will bring you to the channel, and I believe you have to click up at the top. There's videos, something else. If you click on live, that should show you the latest broadcast that is live. If we're not live, you can click on that, and it should show you the latest live. I don't spend much time watching on YouTube. The main reason we set up YouTube years ago was to be able to from someplace other than able to share them on the internet and not have to share them from Facebook. Everybody's the same these days. If you take it from YouTube, you take it from Rumble, you take it from X, you ask your permission if you want to be redirected to where the broadcaster want to watch is. So if you say yes, you do, and if you say no, so it's all you. It should be dishonorable, Obama. You're right, Tina. It should be dishonorable this. It should be dishonorable that. It's his inauguration, and he should be allowed to decide that. But it's a day where everybody's supposed to play nice with those that are there. And if you're not going to each other, then you shouldn't be there. Okay. Bill Clinton really has then Donald Trump has to be nice to him 100% of the time. Bill Clinton only got 1 in 2, whether or not they're valid and will ever be. I can't tell you. They should be. Schiff, if he shows up, should, like Jerry said, valid and send him out. Why audacity to grill Attorney General Pam as to whether or not this person or that person, and going to, she didn't have to tell him, and he is going to, shouldn't change your view as a Republican or Democrat member of Congress as to whether or not would vote for her. It's time that members of Congress realize we elected them to represent us in Washington, D.C. And what we tell you to do is what you go to want to do, not what the people giving you money under the table tell you to do, not what the lobbyists tell you to do, not what this, what that. And we get back to a government that is our people telling us, our people tell the elected representatives what we want them to do, that they do that. And if they don't recall and or terminate them at the next election. Because disgraced Vice President Kamala Harris, who lost her presidential bid to the man who's being inaugurated today, is planning on possibly running for governor in 2026 of California. That should hit every Republican across the face and make sure that we have a candidate that is ready to rock and roll, and make sure that Kamala Harris is governor. Then in 2 years, 2028, I hear she wants to run for her U.S. Senate seat. Interesting, because if the person holding that seat were to resign, I wonder if she could appoint herself, especially if she's governor. I wonder if she could appoint herself or not. She would do it. And if she does, I would hope that the people of California recall her as governor immediately as their U.S. senator. But anyway, conspiracy theories we do here. We do them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Our morning caffeine broadcast. Fridays, we remember everyone deployed Red Friday. Tuesday, Thursday, with the uncensored, open discussions on politics and or anything that comes out of our mouths. Here and there that think it should be an hour of just politics on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and possibly even Monday, Wednesday, and what? If we go off politics and you don't want to listen to what we go off, then come back and watch when we return to politics on a broadcast, or wait for the and watch it with your fast finger button, and whatever it is you don't want to watch. Try to get a quick number here, but 42 shares, 29 views. I believe that Facebook controls the views that we get, and that's about the possibility of going to X. Whether or not we leave Facebook, I honestly don't know. My original plan when I decided to live streaming was to look for all the free places that I could post us, because I have the money to spend my live stream package, so be able to send to more destinations, and I don't have the money for all of the paid destinations that I need to be on. I feel if I'm paying to be on a social media network, they either let me do my broadcast to do it, or they give me my money back and tell me that I can't. We look at whatever comes out of our mouths, and that's what we do. We've been doing it for about 6 years. Morning when we get 100+ views, I like it in the morning when I like it in the evening when we get one view, or when we get more than one view. If you like a broadcast that you're watching, comment in that says why you like it and share it. If you don't like the broadcast, give it in the broadcast why you didn't like it, and I will try to do what accommodate you, because I want you to continue watching. But I'm not gonna, 2025, it's brand new year's, a lot of drama going around everywhere, and I'm 63 years old now, and with Lewy body dementia and Parkinson's and everything else going through my head and my body, I just don't have the time to play in the circles that I used to play in anymore. Some were fun to play in, and some weren't. We didn't boot Randy Rhodes. We booted the feed that came. The deal with it at the time was to boot, knowing that it would eliminate whatever echo was coming from wherever it was coming from. Just want that to be read into the record. And I'm sorry that Michael had to edit out any other length that came through. Most radio has a 15-second delay so that you can do that. It might be the reason that we're not anywhere else other than is because I have to say what they mean and mean what they say. Because I try to say what I mean and mean what you disagree with me. Be in the live chat and tell me that you disagree. I'll invite you to come onto the program. If you like say, be in the live chat, tell me that you like what we say, what we do, and I'll probably invite you to come on. Look, he was watching Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, and we're going to add Chuck Cook. Very happy have. A lot of times he can't make it on the 10 a.m.s, but he would make it on the 7 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then he is the American Rebellion Friday, Saturday at 7 p.m. on the American Rebellion blogger page here on Facebook. That he is a part of both families. So on that note, go watch the inauguration, and if you drink, or at least don't drive home from wherever you are. If you're home and you're drinking, stay home. Don't drive anywhere, or make sure you're not driving celebrating the inauguration. America. Don't know what's going to happen with TikTok, but you know what? There are more things than what will happen with TikTok, because whatever will happen with TikTok is what is going to happen to TikTok. For most of you that don't know what TikTok USA is, what it basically is, it's a social media network like Facebook, but it's based on you. I don't know whether it's live streaming to TikTok or using TikTok's live producer to that hopefully your friends become followers and monetize your broadcast and make a lot of money and get rich and get famous. Well, then TikTok was and is for you to go do again with me, because the monetization part of it is not important to me. You're not going to see much there from me, regardless of what happens. You might see a here and there. If I can live stream to it, you might see a broadcast there. President Trump's nice words about, mainly based on the fact that TikTok influencers, people, awareness of President Trump in this last campaign and helped increase young voters and ultimately become 47th president of the United States. So, beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. I am Dave Globe, part of the broadcast. Will tell you have been watching Boogie with the Bull, Monday Morning Caffeine, February 20th, 2025, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. That really doesn't mean anything. You can take it and do whatever you want, wherever you want with it. But if it's going to be negative, my opportunity to be there when you air clips of it or when you air clips of it on your broadcast, and myself, and same opportunity. I want you to come on. This is better than any other broadcast. We all do the same thing. We all just do it differently. If the good part of the inauguration is coming on at 12 noon, you got time to find social media network or a network that is live streaming it, and you can watch it from there. Live and prosper and be happy. We will see you. I will be on the American Rebellion, 7 p.m. on the American Rebellion blogger page. That God allows me to be there. Have a great day. I'm hungry. The dog and cat ate her. I'm going to go feed me probably a big bowl of Cocoa Puffs because I want to drink chocolate milk when I'm done. Go out there for victory. This Boogie Window broadcast has come to an end. We will see you tonight on the American Rebellion at 7 p.m. company, and we will see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for Boogie with the Bull on same places, the Dave Globe profile, Facebook, the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. Wednesday morning, we will not be live at 10 a.m. with a Boogie with the Bull morning caffeine because we will not have, I believe, water, not have internet, 11 a.m. So you'll see us on the American Rebellion. I don't know what they're doing, and they didn't tell us. Not having internet, we wonder if perhaps Jacksonville is installing FiOS, which would really be cool. Really be cool. We have Comcast Wireless that has to find a good. A lot of times they can't. That has been a problem. Anyway, I'm Dave Globe.